Hello guys, it's GottGlow once again. You are welcome to my video training once again, and in this video we will go into object-oriented programming paradigm. And guys, you can always visit my YouTube channel to like, to subscribe, and to share, and there are so many videos I have there. And in this training we are going to be looking into OOP, object oriented programming methodology. And before we go into OOP fully, I want us to look into different programming methodologies or programming paradigms, guys. And as you can see on the screen right now, we have programming methodologies or programming paradigms. So now, what are programming methodologies or programming paradigms? Programming methodologies are sets of practices followed to write a program. There are sets of practices followed to write a program. And meaning that whenever you want to engage in any project or any application that you want to develop, you have to think about the best practices that you have to follow or you will choose to follow in order to accomplish just such project or in order to develop such application. And there are different practices that we have as we talk about programming paradigms or programming methodologies. And some commonly used programming methodologies are procedural programming methodology, we have structure programming methodology, we have event driven programming methodology, we have object oriented programming methodology, which is also known as OOP. And now in this section of the video, I will not go into other programming methodologies apart from OOP, which is object-oriented programming methodology. And if you want to know other programming methodology, you can always visit my YouTube channel. Go to one of my videos, which is Introduction to Programming, and in that video I was able to expatiate on each and every one of them, but in this one in particular I'm focusing on OOP. So guys, let's go into OOP to know what it is fully about. So now, what is OOP? Object oriented programming methodology. OOP stands for object oriented programming. I want to say it again. OOP stands for object-oriented programming. And object-oriented programming methodology, this is a programming methodology where the program is modeled on the concept of objects and their interactions. So this is a programming methodology where the program is modeled on the concept of objects and their interactions. An example of programming languages that are under OOP are Java programming and C# programming, C++ programming, Visual Basic.NET programming. All of these programming languages are under object-oriented programming methodology. So guys, from here we have to go into the next thing under this, which has to do with elements of OOP. Elements of OOP. And there are so many elements of OOP, of which, as you can see on the screen, we will begin from the first one, which has to do with classes. Guys, what is a class? A class is a template or blueprint used to create objects. A class is a template or blueprint used to create objects. So a class is like a concept. You cannot hold it. It's a concept that group a similar object or objects that have similar properties and similar behaviors. It groups them together. And as far as Java is concerned, whatever you are doing will always exist in between the opening of the curly brace of a class and the closing curly brace of a class. So, guys, this will take us to the next thing in these elements of OOP, has to do with an object. So, what is an object? Object represents an entity which possesses certain features and behaviors. Object represents an entity which possesses certain features and behaviors. So object is like the real thing. Object is like the real entity that you can touch or you can feel. When we continue in this, or in different object-oriented programming languages, you will fully understand what objects are, And from here, it can take us to the next thing in this video, which has to do with inheritance. Guys, just calm down. What is an inheritance? Inheritance is the ability of a child class to inherit the attributes and the methods of the parent class. Or inheritance is the ability of a derived class to acquire the attributes and methods of the base class. Inheritance is the ability of a subclass to inherit the properties and methods of the superclass. It's just like, human beings, we inherit some things from our parents. It's the same thing when we are talking about, inheritance in programming, a situation whereby already created or existing class, you can be able to create another class from it. So this helps in the reusability of code. Then from here, it will take us to the next element of OOP. The next element of OOP in this series is what we call encapsulation, guys. As you can see, it's now on the screen. What is encapsulation? Encapsulation, this is a design technique in which the data and the procedure related to that data are bundled together within a single entity. So now this actually help in hiding some of the information that you don't need the users to see or to have access to, and make the ones that you want them to see available for them. And beyond this, we can go into the next element of object-oriented programming language, which is OOP, which has to do with abstraction. It's a design technique that focuses on the essential features of an entity for a specific program domain. Is a design technique that focuses only on the essential features of an entity for a specific problem domain, meaning that those things that are really essential are the things that this fully focused on. Then this will take us to the next element of OOP, which has to do with polymorphism. Guys, what is polymorphism? Polymorphism is the ability to assign different uses to an entity under different contexts. It's the ability to assign different uses to an entity under different contexts. A situation whereby, for example, a particular method can perform different things at different classes or different usage. Then this takes us to the next one, which has to do with information hiding, guys. What is an information hiding? Information hiding is a design technique that enables you to use a software feature without the need to know how the feature was implemented. You can just use a software without knowing how the features of the software is fully implemented. This takes us to modularity. This has to do with breaking up of a large programming task into subtasks, which are then programmed independently before being coupled together into one complete program. So modularity, when you break down complex program into smaller subtasks, it is what we call modularity. So guys, this is where we are going to stop in this series of OOP, which is actually object-oriented programming methodology. And you can always visit my YouTube channel to watch, to share, to subscribe this, and at the same time other OOP languages that we have which has to do with Java and others. So thanks for watching this.